dropping the adjective, taking the black out of black quarterback. Last year, I was fascinated by the idea that hundreds of millions of people were going to see something new. 2 black quarterbacks playing in the Super Bowl. And both of them, by most people, were looked at as just quarterbacks. You had Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts starting in the Super Bowl. Now, I would have loved to play quarterback, but for generations of athletes that looked like me and prior to me, it didn't seem plausible. But looking at that, and as a dad raising quarterback sons, having them physically able to see the possibility to compete at the highest level, that it exists for them, it was great to see. And maybe you're watching this and saying, George, what's the big deal? A third of the league has black quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson is about to be a 2-time MVP. Jaden Daniels just won the Heisman Trophy, and 3 black quarterbacks went in the first round last year. And Caleb Williams will probably go first overall this year. Plus, Kyler Murray is 5'10" and making $50 million a year. I hear you. But this isn't the Black Right Now month. This is the Black History Month, and we got a story to tell. And when you think about how we got here, it's mind-blowing. Because my middle school son watched 2 players with dark skin play the most difficult position in sports on the world's biggest stage last year. And did you know what my dad was doing at his age? Watching the University of Tennessee start the first ever black quarterback in SEC history. That's right, it was 1972 before the SEC had its first black starting quarterback. Shout out to Condredge Holloway, aka the Artful Dodger, who, and this is absolutely true, is younger than both Mac Brown and Nick Saban. So Mac Brown was literally playing football at Vanderbilt when the SEC was starting to integrate, and not just at quarterback, but at any position. And this isn't even history. This is our parents' lifetime. And I was born in the same state that Condredge Holloway played college football in. And when I was 7 years old, Doug Williams became the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. That same age of 7 is when my father saw Marlin Briscoe become the first black quarterback to start a game in NFL history, and that was for the Denver Broncos. Think about that. My father went from existing in a world where no black players had played in the SEC, much less a black quarterback, and a world where no black quarterbacks had started an NFL game, to watching his grandson get a scholarship to play the position in college. And I went from living in an era where no black quarterbacks had played in a Super Bowl to Warren Moon being the first black quarterback inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame when I was 25 years old. And that's a same lifetime when I was playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we had the first all-black quarterback room with Byron Leftwich, David Garrard, and Quinn Great, despite what the media reports will tell you. So on behalf of me, my father, my kids, and the viewers of this show, I want to salute the black quarterbacks that paved the way for us to be just quarterbacks. You got Willie Wood, Jackie Robinson, Willie Thrower, Charlie Brackins, Sherman Lewis, Mel Myers, Wilbur Hollis, Jimmy Raye, Sandy Stevens, Eldridge Dickey, Condredge Holloway, Marlin Briscoe, James Shaq Harris, who was our director of player personnel when I was in Jacksonville, Joe Gilliam, J.J. Jones, Parnell Dickinson, James Mays, Warren Moon, Doug Williams. And anybody else that I'm leaving out, I apologize, because you guys did the heavy lifting of proving that black men are more than just gridiron brawn. You haven't been forgotten, at least not in my household. Where we've been as a people has led us to where we are. Let that sink in.